Thank you for joining us here at Beadaholique. Today we have a very fun instructional video. We are going to make a resin bangle bracelet with embedded objects in it. And just to add a little bit more fun, I'm going to add some glitter as well. So I have my two-part resin already mixed. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some glitter and just sprinkle some into the actual resin itself and stir it up. You can add as much glitter as you like or as little, or if you don't want any at all, it's totally up to you. Once that's fairly stirred up, I'm going to take my stir stick out. Now I'm using a little plastic cup. You can actually go to a restaurant and just get a little like to-go container for salad dressing or salsa, and that'll work great as well. And I'm going to pinch the corner. What I'm doing is I'm creating a pour spout. Now I have my bangle bracelet mold, and I actually already used some mold release on it as conditioned. It's real important to be able to get your bangle out once it's poured and cured. So I'm just going to carefully drip some resin into the mold. I don't want to fill it all the way up. I want to fill it to about a third. I'm going to tap it a little bit, let it even out, and then I'm going to take my objects, which I want to embed, have some lovely little cabochons. I'm going to drop it right into the mold. Now for this particular bangle, I actually want to have my cabochon staggered in height, and that is why I only filled the mold about a third full, because I'm going to go back and do another layer once this has dried. It's been 24 hours, and I'm going to now go ahead and make the second layer of my embedded object bangle bracelet. I want to show you what this looks like at this point. This is solid, it's not going to move or go anywhere. I filled it about a third full, and what my goal is I want to go ahead and insert another object. And by having laid that first layer already, my second object is going to be at a little bit of a higher level than my first object. It'll just add a little bit of interest. So I've already blown on my mold to try to get out any dust that might have settled in the last 24 hours. I've also gone ahead and pre-mixed my part A and part B resin, and now I'm going to add a little bit of glitter, just like I did before. I'm going to try to eyeball it so I get hopefully about the same amount of glitter as before. And I've already crimped my corner. I did that beforehand because I knew I was going to have a lot of resin here. And I'm going to try to just delicately pour into my mold. When you've come almost to the top, not quite, I'm about 1/8 of an inch from the top, I'm going to pull back, grab my tweezers or your fingers, whichever you're more comfortable with, and drop in my objects. I'm just going to help them go down a little bit. When you're happy with their placement, take your resin cup again and resume filling your bracelet. You'll probably notice I just got a little bit of a glob on the edge there. I can go ahead and sand that off later with a diamond file. Now that I'm happy with the level of my resin, I'm going to let this cure for a full 3 days before I try to pop it out of the mold and sand it. Welcome back. It's been several days and now we're ready to see what we've created. I'm sure you're quite anxious. I know I always am chomping at the bit after a few days of waiting for my resin to fully cure. As you can see, it's hard and dry within the mold. And now we want to pop it out of the mold. This can be a difficult task, so be patient and just keep working at it. To begin with, gently pull at the sides and in the middle as well. And I want to show you why I'm doing this. It's a little bit hard to tell, but you're trying to get some air into the mold. Trying to just loosen it up, get that resin to pull away from the edges. So with most molds, what you're going to be able to do is just go ahead and push on the bottom while holding the top of the mold flat, and that will release it. Unfortunately, with the bangle, it's a little bit more difficult. So we're just going to try to not hurt the mold at all, but gently pry it away. There is going to be some pushing. I know it's really hard to see on camera, but we're actually creating it where a little bit of air is getting down in there, and there's a line right now about right here where our mold is pulled away from the resin piece, and that's what we're going to try to do, is just keep working our way around until we get it so that we can pop it out. Once you start to get to where you have a lip which is coming out of the mold, you can actually start to try to grab it at this point. If you're not familiar with working with resin molds, trust me, they're usually not this difficult to get out. The bangle is really one of the hardest pieces to release from the mold, just because of the shape and how you have so much area which is sunken down into that mold of the resin. There we go. And after all that hard work, you now have a bangle bracelet. Now before we sign off, I want to show you one quick thing, is we now have this little bit of an edge. Most of the time you're not going to be able to get it so perfect that you can avoid having a little bit of a rough edge. And to take care of that, we're just going to sand it down with a diamond file. What you want to do is, first off, you want to make sure you have a mask on, because you don't want to breathe in any of the resin dust. And you're just going to carefully go along the edge. And depending on how much of a lip you have, depend how much you have to sand, but it will just take it right off. You can actually see it flaking right there. Make sure you do wear a mask, though. You don't want to breathe any of this in. Have fun wearing your new embedded object resin bangle bracelet.